Hello. Is anybody here? Can you guys hear me? Let me see. Sorry for the delay. I was trying to figure out how to make this work. I think it's working now. If you're here and you can see me and hear me, let me know in the comments, please. Oh, thank you, Casey. Can you hear me? Hope you can hear me. Sorry, this is my first time using this, so I apologize for being a little slow with this. Thank you, Casey. Okay, well, I'll give it a couple minutes to see if anyone else wants to join, and I'll get started with some books. If you're in here, go ahead and say hello. So while we wait for more people to join, check out my little puppy right here. His name is Giuseppe. He's one of the 5 dogs we have in my household. This is the youngest one. This is a baby. I think he likes to be a baby. This is how I've been getting through my quarantine, hanging out with my puppies. I don't get to see too often. You can see Marceline down here. He's a very sweet lab. That's the mom right there, Alexa. Hey, Alexa. And we have another 2, but they're off taking a nap somewhere else in the house. If you're here and you have any requests for books in the future, go ahead and comment, and I'll check my library, see if I have it. I have a large collection of children's books that I've gathered over the years. So it's possible that I probably have it with me. Okay, y'all. It's been about 3 minutes. Hopefully more people join us. In the meantime, I'm going to read some of my favorite children's books. Like I said, I have my own collection, and I like to collect books that are very meaningful to my life or to my friends' lives. And one of my favorite things to do is actually buy books at thrift stores, very cheap, clean them up. Although I like to keep the little notes inside if somebody left a little love note or thank you note. And I love to gift them to people, to friends, especially if it's one that they've read or had read to them in their childhood. It's a good little reminder that you're never too old to read a children's book. I'm not going to read Twilight, Carlos. You can read that on your own time. All right. How about we start with one of my favorites? I know one of y'all's favorites too. Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus by Mo Willems. Fun fact, I actually have the pigeon tattooed on my ankle right here. I don't know if you can see that. I actually did that myself. And on the other side, I have a little duckling too. And I got that tattooed because it is one of my favorite books to read to my kids. What I love about these books is they're very expressive. They're good for teaching kids about emotions, about using different types of expressions to say what they want to say. And it's just fun to read. All right, this is Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. Let me adjust this real quick. There we go. Don't let the pigeon drive the bus. It'll take me a bit to adjust this. Let's see. Does that work? There we go. Hi, I'm the bus driver. Listen, I've got to leave for a while, so can you watch things for me until I get back? Thanks. Oh, and remember, don't let the pigeon drive the bus. I wonder why. And there he goes. Oof, I thought he'd never leave. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can I drive the bus? Please. I'll be careful. I tell you what, I'll just steer. My cousin Herb drives a bus almost every day. Y'all think we should let the pigeon drive the bus? True story. I wonder what that means. I think it means he's annoyed. Vroom, vroom, vroomy, vroom, vroom. Pigeon at the wheel. Nope. I never get to do anything. Oh, looking a little sad there. Poor pigeon. Hey, I've got an idea. Let's play Drive the Bus. I'll go first. It's a little tricky little pigeon. Come on, just once around the block. I'll be your best friend. How about I give you $5? What's the big deal? It's just a bus. No fair. I bet your mom would let me. I have dreams, you know. Fine. Poor little pigeon. Can't catch a break. Let me drive the bus! I'm back. You didn't let the pigeon drive the bus, did you? Great. Thanks a lot. Uh-oh. Bye. Poor little pigeon. Didn't get to drive the bus. Hey. Uh-oh. I think he's getting some ideas. Looks like he wants to drive a truck now. Probably shouldn't let him. The end. That was Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus by Mo Willems. I have a few more pigeon books I can read. I think I'm going to save them for another time. I hope you like that book. If you want me to reread any books, just let me know. This is another favorite, Guess How Much I Love You. I've had many copies of this book that I've bought over the years, and it's one of the books that I like to give out most. Usually, when I give this out to friends, it reminds them of a sibling or a parent that they care about a lot, and some of them end up crying when they read it. Guess How Much I Love You by Sam McBratney. Illustrated by Anita Jerem. Little Nut Brown Hare, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hare's very long ears. He wanted to be sure that Big Nut Brown Hare was listening. Guess how much I love you, he said. Oh, I don't think I could guess that, said Big Nut Brown Hare. Guess how much I love you. This much, said Little Nut Brown Hare, stretching out his arms as wide as they could go. Big Nut Brown Hare had even longer arms. But I love you this much, he said. That is a lot, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I love you as high as I can reach, said Little Nut Brown Hare. You can reach pretty far. I love you as high as I can reach, said Big Nut Brown Hare. That is very high, thought Little Nut Brown Hare. I wish I had arms like that. Got little nut brown hair down there. Barely as tall as big nut brown hair's foot. Then little nut brown hair had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and reached up the tree trunk with his feet. I love you all the way up to my toes, he said. And I love you all the way up to your toes, said big nut brown hair, swinging him up over his head. I love you as high as I can hop, laughed little nut brown hair. And he hopped, and he hopped, and he hopped, bouncing up and down, up and down. But I love you as high as I can hop, smiled big nut brown hair, and he hopped so high that his ears touched the branches above. That's some good hopping, thought little nut brown hair. I wish I could hop like that. I think maybe one day he will. I love you all the way down the lane as far as the river, cried little nut brown hair. I love you across the river and over the hills, said big nut brown hair. That's very far, thought little nut brown hair. He was almost too sleepy to think anymore. Then he looked beyond the thorn bushes out into the big dark night. Nothing could be farther than the sky. I love you right up to the moon, he said, and he closed his eyes. Oh, that's far, said big nut brown hair. That is very, very far. Big nut brown hair settled little nut brown hair into his bed of leaves. He leaned over and kissed him good night. Then he lay down close by and whispered with a smile, I love you right up to the moon and back. The end. How much can you love someone? Is there someone that you love very much? It's fun to remind them of how much you love them. I like to do that at least once a day. You can love your family, your friends. You can even love yourself. I hope y'all do. Okay. Next book, Frederick by Leo Leone. This was a gift to me by one of my bosses at the university I worked at. It says, Javier, you and Frederick have so much to offer the world. Don't forget that. Matt Browning. This was his favorite book too. Frederick by Leo Leone. All along the meadow, where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. An old stone wall. It says, where the cows grazed. Cows grazing, that means they're just eating the grass from the meadow. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mice, and a butterfly. Although this mouse is looking a little bit sad. But the farmers had moved away. The barn was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night. All except for Frederick. I wonder why Frederick's not doing any work. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. Well, I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. He's gathering sun rays as his little family is gathering corn. And when they saw Frederick sitting there staring at the meadow, they said, And now, Frederick, I gather colors, answered Frederick simply. for the winter is gray. And once Frederick seemed half asleep. Are you dreaming, Frederick? They asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, Oh no, I'm gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say. Well, the winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. You can see them all running into their little stone home. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. They look like a very happy family. I wonder if this is how we feel right now, stuck in our little home. But we can be happy with our family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. They look a little bit sad. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about sun rays and colors and words. How about your supplies, Frederick? They asked. I wonder what Frederick is going to share with his family. Close your eyes, said Frederick, as he climbed on a big stone. Now, I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow? And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little field mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? What do y'all think? I like how nicely they're listening as Frederick is telling his story. And how about the colors, Frederick? They asked anxiously. Close your eyes again, Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles and the red poppies and the yellow wheat and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted on their minds. Look at all those colors. Can you imagine all these colors if you close your eyes? And the words, Frederick? Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, Who scatters the snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat. And winter is last with little cold feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more. When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. But Frederick, they said, you are a poet. Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, I know it. The end. That was Frederick by Leo Leone. I like this book because it reminds you that although we work really hard in this life, we have to remember why we work. There's a lot of beauty in this world, a lot of love to share. And if you're working without having those thoughts in your mind, without reminding yourself of why you're doing all this work, it seems like the work is almost for nothing. So work hard and appreciate the beauty around you. That's what Frederick is about. Hola, Sonia. I can't see how many people are on here, so I hope there's a few of y'all. I'm going to read a couple more books, and then we'll save the rest for next time. This one's a classic, The Giving Tree. My favorite part about this book is the author, Shel Silverstein, is on the back, and he looks absolutely terrifying. This used to scare me a lot when I was a kid. So you don't turn this book around. The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. There's a little note right here. It belonged to Mrs. Franco from room 530. She must have donated it to the thrift store. The Giving Tree. Once there was a tree. It's a very nice tree. And she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come. And he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk. You see him climbing up? He left his shoes back here. And swing from her branches. A little dangerous. I don't recommend you do that. And he would eat her apples. And they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree. He loved her very much. And the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older. And the tree was often alone. She looks a little bit sad there. Then one day, the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I'm too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money, and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife and I want children, so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house, but you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build his house. And the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play." "I'm too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that will take me far away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk, and he made a boat and sailed away. And the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I'm sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone. My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I'm too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I'm too tired to climb," said the boy. "I'm sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I am just an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I'm very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could. "Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The end. That was The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I like this book, but the older I get, the more I realize that the lesson in it is not the best. We all have people who love us very much, who are willing to sacrifice a lot to make sure that we're happy. But it's also very important that we don't let people take advantage of us, that you have some boundaries. You can love someone without giving every part of yourself. And if they love you back, they would understand that too. That's The Giving Tree. Okay, this is our last book for today. If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Joffe-Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. If you give a mouse a cookie. Let me get a quick drink of water first. Gotta stay hydrated. Oh, and before I forget, I have a couple announcements. First, Casey apologizes. She had technical difficulties yesterday, but Jeopardy will be back on Tuesday of next week at 5:30. So Jeopardy with Casey on Tuesday at 5:30. And I'm also starting up some ESL classes. So if you took part in it last year or earlier this year, before we were on quarantine, you're welcome to come back. But also the ESL classes are open to anybody. So if you have friends who are interested in learning how to speak English or improve their English, they're free to join as well. Just contact either me or any of the other staff. You can call our office number or email us, and we'll get you signed up. We're hoping to start next week. And our teacher will be Miss Maureen. Okay. If you give a mouse a cookie. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. And when you give him the milk, you see that? He'll probably ask you for a straw. When he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. Then he'll want to look in a mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. When he looks into the mirror, he might notice his hair needs a trim. Got a little hair right there. So he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. He'll start sweeping. He might get carried away and sweep every room in the house, which is not a bad thing to do. I'm sure my mom would love it if, or y'all's moms too, if you swept the whole house. He may even end up washing the floors as well. That'd make my mom very happy. When he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. And I think he deserves that nap. You'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. He'll crawl in, make himself comfortable, and fluff the pillow a few times. He'll probably ask you to read him a story, just like I'm doing right now. So you'll read to him from one of your books, and he'll ask to see the pictures. I hope you guys can see the pictures. When he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. He'll ask for paper and crayons. He'll draw a picture. And when the picture is finished, he'll want to sign his name. That's an amazing picture. It's a very talented mouse. He'll want to sign with a pen. Then he'll want to hang his picture on your refrigerator, which means he'll need Scotch tape. He'll hang up his drawing and stand back to look at it. Looking at the refrigerator will remind him that he's thirsty. So, that boy's tired of the mouse asking him for all these things. So he's going to want a cookie to go with it. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a lot of things. I really liked the mouse's idea in this book to draw a picture of his own. I think that's a good activity to be doing in this time when you're stuck at home. Read some books, and if you like the pictures, draw one of your own. Maybe you can even write your own story. And if you do, send it to us, and maybe we can post it on our Instagram. If You Give a Mouse a Cookie by Laura Jove Numeroff. All right, y'all. That's all the books I have for today. Next week, I'll have another story time, as well as an arts and crafts time with the family. So I'll try to make sure we have our arts and crafts are doable with any household items you have. Try to keep it simple, but I hope you can join and make sure you invite your family as well. So not just yourself as a student, but bring in the whole family. Okay. One more time. Casey apologizes for technical difficulties yesterday, and I do as well. But Jeopardy will be back on Tuesday at 5:30. And ESL classes are open for anybody. Just make sure to contact us and let us know that you're interested, and we'll send you more information about that in the next week. Thank you. Bye, everybody.